My friends, when last we saw you, you had undergone a couple of trials. You had received a mission from the Cardinal to go to Chicago, which is ostensibly what you're going to attempt to do tonight, to find a missing member of a Black Hand pack that some years ago was sent into Chicago, and the entire pack was believed killed, but apparently there is one left alive, one named Ophelia, an Assamite. In order to find said missing Black Hand member, you went to rescue a Ravnos named Silver, who was being held at a blood farm in Garrison, Indiana, where you met the brand new warden, who would be a Bali, an infernalist, worshipping a demon named Bahamut, and you managed to get rid of said devil worshipper and some of the guards, and to free Silver from their clutches. A couple of you, namely Francis and Lydia, also met a trio of witches that were perhaps hiding down there, or perhaps not. It's not too clear, called the Hecate, who one of them appeared to be a Salubri, and who told you that your fates were linked, namely that what one sought, i.e. what Lydia sought, which is her sire, the other one, in this case Francis, was the key to, and that it had something to do with Francis's sire. We also learn that at some point along the way that Francis is an agent of the Cardinal, but also perhaps an agent for other forces. We don't know how many masters Francis has. Francis is just like the Mata Hari of the vampire world. Such an innocent face, zero scruples. After that, and after some interpersonal, shall we say, irritations amongst the group, you finally made plans to go into Chicago. You know that getting into Chicago, since the pandemic, is very difficult. The Scourge Batiste, the Nosferatu Scourge, at the Gangrel keep the area pretty closed off. However, Francis, imagine that, who's been slipping into Chicago every so often to go to university there, for reasons that remain somewhat obscure, had a way for y'all to get in. And that way was, well, to take a school bus. Because there's apparently a shuttle that travels from the University in Garrison to the University in Chicago. And no one would think of checking a school bus for a bunch of bloodthirsty Sabbat. And so, much to the chagrin of some of your people, you decided that that was probably a good way to try and sneak into the city. And that is where we are when we begin tonight. There's a message here, I'm just going to check it. Oh, thank you very much, Raven Sarah, giving a night move to everyone, so everyone gets to add a night move on a character sheet. Thank you very much, Raven Sarah. You are, as always, the savior of these people.
Bleak, can you tell us once again what night moves can be used for?
Yeah, basically a night move gives you an automatic success.
Cute.
Yeah, it's like a willpower, except you don't have to spend your willpower. I'm going to cough, and then we will start.
Not me realizing I left all of my D10s in the other room like an amateur.
Well, you're probably going to need them.
Good Lord.
I'm probably getting them at the break. All right, my friends, now that I have cleared myself, night falls and the predators stir. A voice is carried forth on the dark winds of these darkling shores. A message from the bishop, Natasha Gural. ABC. A, always, B, B, C, cleaving. Always be cleaving. Always be cleaving. A, I, D, A. A, attention. I, idolatry. D, demands. A, action. Do I have your attention? Idolatry. Are you worshiping false idols? I know you are, because it's pray or pay. You kneel or we break your knees. Demands. Have you met the demands of the Cardinal? And action. AIDA. Get out there and cleave. Sever. Separate. You got the sinners coming by. You think they came in to get out of the rain? Guy doesn't walk into the church unless he wants to be saved. Sitting out there waiting for you to give him salvation. Are you going to give it? Are you virtuous enough to give it? What's the problem, pal? You see this crucifix? You see this crucifix? That bloodwood crucifix was harder to carve than a double-wide casket. I made 970,000 bespoke double-wide caskets last year. How many nails did you hammer? You see, pal, that's who I am, and you're nothing. Nice guy? I don't give a supplication. Good sire? Oh boy, join the Camarilla and get a promotion. You want to work here? Cleave. You think this is abuse? You think this is abuse, you sinner? You can't take this? How are you going to take the lashing you get from the pack priest? You don't like it? Go to hell. I can get out there tonight with the good deeds you've done, getting myself closer to the kingdom of true light. Tonight, 2 hours. Can you? Can you? Go and do likewise. AIDA. Get holy, you sons of Cain. Get holy. You know what it takes to get to paradise? To find the true light? It takes great carpentry skills to get to paradise. Go and do likewise, gents. The wood's out there. You carve it up. You hammer it. The cabinet is yours to sell. You don't? I have no sympathy for you. You want to go out on those workbenches tonight and hammer? Hammer? It's yours. If not, you're going to be polishing my crucifix. Bunch of sitters sitting around in the chapel. Oh yeah, I used to be a carpenter. It's a tough racket. These are the new cleaving knives. They are the Empyrean cleaving knives, and to you, they're essential, and you don't get them. Because to give them to you is just throwing them away. They're for cleavers, severers. I wish you good luck, but you wouldn't know what to do with it if you got it. And to answer your question, pal, why am I here? I came here because the Cardinal asked me to. He asked me for a favor. I said, the real favor, follow my advice, and leave these guys to rot. Because a sinner is a sinner, and ain't no place in our ranks for low-down, filthy sinners. Cleave, sever, or die. I drove here tonight in a casket wreathed in holy hellfire, dripping blood from the exhaust, and with the wheel in the hands of the goddamn Grim Reaper. That's who I am. Who are you? A long stretch of highway outside Chicago. Small bus approaches. Cut 2. The camera is inside the bus. The driver is bored and yawns. His face is lit by the pale dashboard light. He looks like a skeleton. The camera moves past him along the aisle. Bored, sleepy students sit here and there, worry, stress, and fear etched on their faces. This is the world they are inheriting, and here tonight, on this bus taking them from Garrison to the Chicago State University, it all comes into focus. The world is burning. Ain't no class or no curriculum teaches you how to put that kind of fire out. It's game over. At the rear of the bus, there's 6 people. Different. Too old by far to be students. They got worries too, but of a different kind. They know the world is burning and they are okay with that. Only questions left on their faces is, how do I get mine? How do I get through this night and come out ahead? How do I live when I'm already dead? And as Don't Fear the Reaper cues up on the soundtrack, we meet our friends. Carver. You're sitting there. What's going through your mind? What did you do before you got on this bus tonight?
Got road beers. And had to debate with myself a little bit. You see, the new licks ain't like the old licks. And I'm not too keen on it, to be perfectly honest. But it is what it is. Bishop's right, though. Always be cleaving. Always.
What did you get up to before getting on the bus?
Carter, very much before getting on the bus, had a little fun. He had a little watch party, I think is what they're calling them these days. And he watched and viewed and waited until it was time, sending out his little minions to find out, you know, each one of these beings has a little chink in their armor, and he wanted to know what that was. So he wanted to have faces to go with names, places to go with faces, all to be stored away just for a rainy day. But most importantly, he got the road beers.
Exxon, you can write off one more blood point for having woken up tonight. Sitting in a bench across the aisle from him, perhaps most comfortable in here, most used to it at least, Francis. What is Francis thinking, and what has Francis been getting up to before getting on this bus tonight?
Thinking it's typeface, agenda in mind, trying to figure out what the timetable should be. Should I go speak to my professor first? Should I hang out with this pack of ours and see if we can find Ophelia first? How much do I actually care about the information the Cardinal originally sent me to find, knowing that the intention is to kill him by hopefully week's end? I'm trying to come up with a timetable as looking out the window, watching things pass.
You've taken this trip several times before, so you kind of know it by heart now. It's mostly a little bit of highway going through what remains of Garrison and then up into the outlying area of Chicago. It's almost comforting, perhaps, for you more than anybody else to see the outline of Chicago coming at you, because you've been coming here and going for a while. For the others, it's probably a little unnerving, because the last time those of you who've been here before were here, it was a pretty terrible evening, and the others who've not been here will have heard of it. So you're perhaps the only one who's not feeling too shaken by it.
Exposure.
Sorry?
Exposure. Working
Yes,
at its
exactly.
finest.
Sitting behind are two friends, perhaps a little quiet tonight. Archie. What's going through Archie's mind, and what was Archie been getting up to before getting on the bus? Oh, I'm sorry, Archie. I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Alex, can you do me a favor and roll a d6 and subtract that from your blood pool?
I can do that. I was also going to say, what she was thinking about was different than what she did before getting on the bus.
Oh, all right, cool. So then sorry, Archie. We'll get back to. I thought Alex was done.
You're good. Subtracting 4 from my blood pool. And before we got on the bus, I was actually hoping to take Archie aside for a brief moment. Because I had a text message that I received from what's his bucket, very important person, NPC name that I
Cardinal Santiago.
His
Aster,
handyman.
Yeah, Aster, the pack priest. Yeah.
Archie, just a moment of your time, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah. What is it, Francis?
When we were having that moment in the office, an interesting piece of information came my way. At that point, I'll show you the text message.
Oh, okay.
So,
what does the text say?
It says that you are in charge of this operation. That the Cardinal picked you?
You should probably text them back and tell them to pick someone else.
So, here's my thinking. I can. I don't think they take it too kindly to that, though. Carter's clearly working on something. He told us he was in, or that Lydia was in charge. So many strings. I think it might serve you well to sit back, not to take charge, but pick your moment. We can let Lydia know too, but maybe Carter needs to burn himself out.
Archie kind of looks at you. Then he gives you the up and down, and he looks at you and he goes, What are you playing at, Francis?
What do you mean?
I know a mean girl when I see one.
Mean? Interesting. Is it meant as a insult? I kind of looking around to the invisible audience of, I don't think anything we do here is nice.
You don't watch movies or anything? Okay, anyway. That's fine. If the Cardinal wishes for me to lead this, I will do my best. But I do agree with you. Having Lydia take the full front would be the best. I'll be here.
But you know, if you need anything, just let me know.
I won't.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it. I understand. No, I get it. And kind of shrug it off and wander.
I want to say thank you to Trollard Games for a wonderful raid. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for coming in. We are playing Vampire the Masquerade, a Sabbat version, Sabbat Chronicle. Just so you know, our game does have a mature content warning on it, so just decide for yourself if this is the kind of thing you want to get into. But thank you so much for the raid. We greatly appreciate you. I also saw Gil Superior in there. Welcome, man. Welcome, Dave. Hey. Moving on then, after this particular discussion, let's get back to Archie. What did Archie do then before climbing aboard the yellow bus to hell?
So before climbing on the bus, and subsequently this is what he's thinking about on the bus too, he didn't attend the club that evening. He stayed home. It pretty much ran itself, and he's in his home and he's sitting in his living area and he's just listening to music. He's writing a note to Raymond telling him that he will be gone, and it's pretty much, I'll be back when I'm back. And Raymond knows what to do. I mean, they've been around for a bit. And Archie stands up from his living area and he goes to a closet. And in that closet, he pushes away a couple boxes, old dusty books, some old costumes, and he pulls out an instrument case. And he sits back down in his living room and he opens it and takes off with a very old satin cloth, and it's a brass trumpet. And he stares at it. And in the background, you can just hear low, jazzy tunes with the trumpet player at the forefront, almost haunting. And that's it.
And as he sits on the bus right now, anything specific going through his head, or is just hearing that tune still haunting him?
The tune is haunting him a lot, and he's playing the interaction with Francis over and over in his head, kind of picking apart what he can notice and just kind of looking at everyone very uneasy. He doesn't want to be here. We could have picked a better mode of transport, but whatever. If I was supposed to lead this meeting, why didn't they tell me? I mean, it's not like I'm that hard to get a hold of. This is bullshit, and what I fucking hate Chicago anyway.
The Cardinal moves in mysterious ways.
That's it.
Is Lydia sitting next to Archie, or are you sitting apart tonight?
No, I'm sitting next to Archie if he is allowing it, and just occasionally gently like squeezing his hand.
And what's going through your mind, and what did you get up to before hopping on the bus to Chicago?
Before hopping on the bus to Chicago, I had a lovely little evening with our dear Gretchen.
Did Gretchen finally get her heart's desire?
She certainly did.
Oh, interesting. So you drained her to the point of, well, basically death, and then fed her some of your own blood, turning her finally, after so long, into a child of yours. Did you have time to go through the Sabbat rites, or are you waiting on that?
I have left it to her to decide if that is something she would like to do.
Oh, interesting. And what did you do with Gretchen since you are leaving, and, well, she's not a vampire for the first time?
I have left her in the care of Petra, the bodyguard, the Bruja bodyguard, maybe a bit foolishly, but I have left her in her care.
She did arch an eyebrow at you when you brought this freshly embraced Gretchen to her, like, sure about this?
Too late now.
Fucking guess so. What am I supposed to do? Babysit her?
Yeah. Don't worry, I won't be gone long. Just don't
Stepped
eat
out
her.
for cigarettes, right?
You know all about that, don't you? Please don't eat her or feed her to other people or just let her wander around.
I'll take care of her like she was my own.
Comforting.
Mm-hmm. Who's gonna run this place when you and Archie are gone?
Well,
And Francis also.
like I said, we're not going to be gone long. I'm going to leave you in charge.
Oh.
Anything comes up, please let me know.
If you don't come back, can I have your office? And can I have
Yes. Yes, you can have all of the things you'd like. But I swear to God, if you touch the good Chanel, I will come back from the grave for you.
You get a text from Archie that says he cannot have our office. Like, for some reason, he just knew.
Petra will look at you and go, well, in that case, I certainly hope you come back.
Yeah, I don't like the look on your face, so just remember that I still own you.
Signed a paycheck. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Have fun in Chicago with all the Camarilla.
Yeah. Don't mind me if I need to shower several times after I get back.
Apparently they have some really big Nosferatu out there likes to kill Sabbat, so, you know,
Oh,
be
I
careful.
know.
Would both Ian and Kato please roll me a D6 and add 2, and that's the blood you have to begin tonight.
6 for me.
That's how much blood you have as you embark on this trip. Anything else you would like to share with us, Lydia? Or
No, that I occasionally kind of glance at the corner of my eye at Archie, and I pop open the ring on my finger and just dip a long fingernail into it and take a little bump and offer one to Archie.
No, or at least not right now. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just want to get off this bus.
Sure.
Birdsong says, I don't know, it's pretty comfortable. Back when I was a kid, going to school, we had to walk uphill both ways in the snowstorm.
Yeah, what else,
It was
Granddad?
Hey, I can't help it. I've been around a long time. Me and Carter were running around these hills, yipping and hollering when y'all were all just fucking glints in your daddy's eyes.
The wheels on the bus go round and round,
Round and
round,
round and round.
I mean, Lydia, honestly, we, as much as I love a good hillbilly campfire song, we couldn't have gotten something more comfortable than this.
Believe me, if I were leading this mission, I would have made sure that happened.
Fuck no, we gotta be inconspicuous. We gotta sneak in.
Because nothing says inconspicuous like a giant fuck-off yellow school bus full of vampires.
I'm actually surprised you have the wherewithal to know what a 5-syllable word is.
Me or Birdsong?
Both.
Well, when by our powers combined, we've got 2 brain cells, and it's quite amazing.
What's a syllable?
One brain cell. Okay. According to Carter, Lydia, you are leading this mission.
Yeah. Well, okay, I guess then let's just say that it was my brilliant idea to ask Frances for her resources, but truly we really had no other options, so.
We could have rented an Uber.
Enterprise was an option.
Yeah, there was a ton of other options we could have really gone with. I mean, I'm 100% with Archie on this. This is about dumb, but you know, here we are. Let's go.
I'm never offering help ever again.
Well, to Frances's credit, this is actually kind of a brilliant plan.
I'm just being bougie. It's fine. It's working.
Did he say he's being bougie? Is that what he said?
You smell like cheese. Like, why are you so close to me?
Hey, it's fucking fine Wisconsin cheese, y'all have you know.
Curdled, no less.
Does it squeak?
Only if it's at the right room temperature.
Mm-hmm.
As all this is going on, Francis, you notice Vorena has slipped forward a few seats and is sitting next to one of the humans on the bus, one of the human students, and is busy whispering in said human's ear. It's not someone you know, just this young female student who is apparently feeling a little uncomfortable with Vorena, just sort of leaning in over her shoulder and whispering in her ear.
Do I see this happening?
Sure, any of you can see that.
Verena, do you want me to get the leash?
Mother.
Not the fun one.
Play nice.
Give her a kiss. They like that.
You mean this one? And she puts a finger in her throat and peels off a long strip of skin and just sort of starts handing it towards you.
I stand up and like try to mask this and just pick her up just gently by the face. And I say, remember how we're supposed to be incognito?
Yeah.
I think you got me on the one. I grab her just gently by the face and I go, Mommy will play with you later. Remember how we're supposed to be inconspicuous? You're scaring the shit out of this kid.
The kid's like this.
I look and I go, sometimes, you know, folks just really like Halloween all year round.
You've ever seen David Blaine? It's the same thing.
It's always the psychology majors. Don't worry about it.
I wasn't gonna break her. I was just wondering what it would feel like to wear her skin.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Kato's cracking, but Lydia is not. I've got a hand around her back and I still have her face and I'm right up against her ear and I say, if you don't quiet down, I'm gonna wear your skin. Okay? Good girl. And I give her a kiss on the cheek.
Do you promise? I
And
can make that happen.
I move her away from me.
Oh.
Verena, you're freaking out the normies. Knock it off.
Well, if you can't have strange, messed up, disturbed sex on a school bus, where can you have it?
That's illegal in this state. We gotta go to Wisconsin.
Is that where the cheese comes from?
Wait, are we still in Indiana? Because it might still be legal in Indiana. It's just whether or not we've crossed the Illinois border.
How much longer are we on this bus? I need some air.
Francis, you know it's about another half hour.
Oh, gods.
We're almost there.
I'm gonna lean over the back of the seat and just kind of drape myself over the back of it next to Francis and go, so, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, because if I didn't know any better, I'd say you look a little sweaty.
No, so people here, I don't, what, can I help you, Lydia?
No, I just wanted to know what was going on. You seem a little bit jumpier than usual.
Chicago, you know how it goes. It's
Yeah, but you come here a lot.
That's new to you all, and you're all kind of loud.
Sorry, I know. It's just crazy, isn't it? You know, if anything is going on, anything you want to talk about, you know you can always come to me, right?
Of course. You're the one in charge of this whole operation anyway, so
no, and beyond that, you know, we're friends, right?
Since when?
We've always been friends.
I don't know enough about friends to know I have not had many.
Well, that's a shame. You can count me as a friend.
I'll take that for what it's worth. Thank you.
Good. And I just slide back and sit back down next to Archie.
Fucking Carter feeling the need to ride this confrontation train just looks over at Francis and just goes, hi.
Wow, you all get very bored when there's nothing to entertain you.
Oh, but you're entertaining.
What do you mean nothing to entertain us? There's like a whole bunch of blood bags on this place. We could have all the fun we want.
Oh, right. You know, Songbird, when you're right, you're right. And you're always right. You know, I mean, I'm all for a little road trip snack.
Might give away the subtlety of our entrance.
Doubtful.
Why are you so jittery? Like in between, you know how on a bus there's like that crack on for the window. Archie's like, why are you so jittery?
Oh, that's you put us on a school bus. We're gonna act like children.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face some facts. You put us anywhere, we're gonna act like children.
Yeah.
Hey-yo.
Songbird got a point. Yeah, for real. Why are you so sweaty? What's the matter?
I'm always like, I've never really been much for the social part of our gatherings. This is, I think, the most attention any of you have paid me in some time, so maybe I'm just not used to spotlight.
Put a bunch of predators in a small metal box and we'll find the weakest one real fast.
I just grab Carter by the face and I'm like, shut up.
Morena leans forward over your shoulder, Francis, and goes, you know, I can remove your sweat glands for you if you want.
No, it's quite. They're good. They're good. Sweat glands are good. Thank you.
You won't feel anything.
I believe you. I'm sure you're very good at the stuff that you do.
Oh yeah.
Would you like me to put them back then? I'm kidding.
Archie from the back.
I assume I have some kind of like book bag thing. At this point, I'm just gonna take out.
What book are you pulling out?
What book am I? I think I'm pulling out Candide. Because God, anything is better than this, even Candide.
Brian Ellis goes, one of my favorites is Anne of Green Gables.
Why?
I don't know. It's very soothing reading that. It brought a little peace to my soul.
Verena, that's unexpected.
Yeah. She leans back.
That was maybe the most disconcerting thing said the whole trip. Just gonna sink in my chair, and maybe if I'm small enough, people will stop paying attention to me.
So what's the plan anyways? We're gonna drive into Chicago, pull up to the Bean, and just yell, hey, Black Hand Assassin, who the fuck are you? We're here to pick you up. Come on, join us on the Miracle Bus Ride. Is that the plan, or do we have a plan? Like,
no, you idiot.
Yeah, what is the plan, Miss Frizzle?
And I point to myself, and I'm like, that is not me.
In a rare moment, Archie looks at Carter and goes, you beat me to it.
So, Lydia, Queen Lady of the Night, what is the plan?
Oh, when Carter said Miss Frizzle, he was talking to Francis. Francis, where is this going to dump us off? You said that you know how to get us into the city. Where is it going to drop us?
Oh, well, it's going to take us to the university. There's like a little, what's the word? I don't know, bus stop. I need to pay a quick trip, I think, to someone, but giving directions, because I assume she would know, even though I have no concept here at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah. You have a quick trip to make, sure. We'll come with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really necessary.
Oh, come on. You know a pack sticks together.
Are we going to a gas station?
No.
Oh.
You keep saying quick trip. I'm not paying attention.
I just some of you may not be as comfortable in an academic setting, and I'd hate for you all to be more bored than you already are.
What kind of trip are you making? Who are you seeing?
What does that mean?
She's trying to say we're too dumb to go to her college and listen to her talk all fancy like it
She's
was the
trying to
best of times, it was the worst of times.
She's
could
trying to
recite
say
the
that
entirety
you're
of
too
Hamlet
dumb
right
to
now
go
in
sit
front of you.
and listen to a lecture. So let's be real.
From the back, Silver, who's been kind of just ignoring all of this, sits up and goes, you guys are like the Cardinal's special forces. Like, you're the ones that he picked to go into this town and do this mission.
Special with a Y.
Surprise, Buttercup. They're the ones.
Because, Chicago's not going to be easy for you guys to get around. They're pretty serious about keeping you guys out of there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I can get you near the place where I know Ophelia used to lair. That's down in the Chicago manufacturing district. But that's about as far as I go. But to get there, you're gonna have to blend in a little bit more, because they're on the lookout there, and you guys yipping and hollering like you do and going on, you're gonna get in trouble. And look, I'm helping you because you helped me, but when the shit hits the fan, I'm not gonna stick around.
Sure.
Oh, believe me, we can blend in when we need to.
No, you can blend her in. I saw what you did in that prison cell. You can blend her. I know that much.
Oh,
We'll be fine.
The only one of you that I think is gonna get anywhere is, and he points to Francis. So
snack bag.
if I was you, I think maybe I'd lay off of her a little bit and realize that she's probably the only one who knows the place, knows the area. I can get you places, and antagonizing her. It's always the quiet ones that fucking go crazy. So I'm just saying, I don't think you want to be antagonizing her that much. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Silver does have a point, and if we are going to get this mission done as a pack, as one big happy, we're gonna have to chill out and follow some of Francis's lead on some of this. As much as I am keeping both eyes on her. But reining in the shenanigans will be imperative.
Are you intentionally just... Never mind.
No, go ahead, say it.
You act like you ain't ever stepped foot in this city before. You know your way around just as well as I do. That's
do.
okay. Let's just sit back, boss.
No. It's not sitting back, but discretion is key. I know you don't understand that word. It means that we have to be really subtle. It means that we have to look like we are not loud and gregarious and out there and screaming about how we are vampires.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's all good. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, this is gonna work out just fucking great. Silver leans back, pulls down his socks, baseball cap down over his eyes.
Boo.
Did you, hey, Birdsong, did you bring the bag?
Yeah.
All right, good.
I always bring the bag. When have I not brought the bag?
I mean, well, that was that one time outside El Paso.
Yeah, fine. Don't you fucking bring up Cleveland. If you bring up Cleveland, I'm gonna get a little fucking ticked off.
Yeah, I won't bring up Cleveland. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't bring up Cleveland. Hey, Vancouver by night. And Daryl, Sexa Gaming. Welcome, guys. Welcome in, gang. Our illustrious Sabbat pack are on a school bus right now, driving into Chicago, and without too much major incidents, assuming you keep a lid on Verena and Carter. Eventually, the bus will arrive at the Chicago State University, pulling up into a little, on the side, in like a little side street. There's like a little bus stop area. You pull up to it. This little bus stop here is a little path that goes up, and it leads you to this wide open space area between the main buildings of the university. It's about, you took the last shuttle in, so it's a little past 10 o'clock. So it's pretty quiet right now. A few students here and there running through and through, with their heads down. It's exam period, so they're all pretty stressed out of their gourd. You find your way up. You are finally breathing Chicago air. Days after this, nights after this, a mission was handed to you, and all the weirdness that you've been through in that jail and everything else, you're finally in Chicago. And as you step foot onto this open plaza in the center of the Chicago University grounds, you can't help but realize that you are now in enemy territory. You are surrounded by a population of, you don't know, but certainly several dozen kindred, maybe close to 100. All of them Camarilla, some of them very old, all of them used to living in a place that has been a war ground between the Camarilla and the Giovanni, and then the Lupines, and then the Sabbat, and so on and so forth. You are surrounded by people who would put you to final death without a word. Those of you who were here the last time during the Shovelhead party in 2017 remember, hey Phoenix, thanks for dropping in, friend. Remember the veritable destruction that Baptiste and Nosferatu Scourge laid on you. You still remember the heads of several of your packmates exploding under his railroad hammer, and the thought does not sit well with you. You are in the city now, and you know that you have to be careful because they are watching, they are aware. You have to be careful. What do you do?
Hey, Songbird, let me get the bag.
All right, so look, I haven't said anything the entire ride, but you keep calling me Songbird. You know it's bird song, right? You're just doing it to get up my craw?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, fine then. Yeah, here at the back. Gives you a bag.
Where's there a bathroom?
I don't know, ask Holly Golightly there.
Holly Golightly, where's there a bathroom?
If you just go ahead and take a straight there through that building, it's gonna be like a lobby. Then take a left and then down the hall. You'll see it when you see it.
Yeah, I got it. And Carter kind of walks off with the bag.
Hey, wait for me, Verena. Goes off after you.
Verena? I watch her as she's
Ignores
running.
you.
Verena.
She stopped, turns around. What?
That got me. I say, keep an eye on him for me.
She looks at you and her eye slowly pops out of her socket and slinks down the middle of her cheek. Like that?
Yeah, just like
Goes
that,
back.
honey.
Okay, mommy. She
Bring
takes
back
off.
something cool, too.
What?
Bring back something cool.
It's not like they have gift shops here. I mean, they do, but not nearby.
Verena knows what I'm talking about.
What are the rest of you doing?
First, I'm gonna laugh. There's no bathroom that way. Sorry, it's just that he was being really irritating. I thought it might be a little funny.
Yeah, that's
There's
funny.
you know, Francis, I don't give you enough credit. You are incredibly clever.
Thank you.
That was funny.
I tried.
That is very funny, actually.
Well, okay, so I wasn't trying to mislead or anything. I really do have office hours I need to go see my professor about. If you want to come, you can, but we're just gonna talk about class stuff. So
You do realize we're on a mission and we don't have a whole lot of time. Can your schoolwork wait?
I mean, it won't take. We let him go off with a bag.
Well, he was going to do that anyway.
And if I just go off and do this, I'm telling you, you all can come with me. I just didn't think it'd be your speed. Is all.
No, you know what? Let her go. Let her attend to whatever it is she needs.
All right. How does 45 minutes sound.
Plenty. Thank you.
All right. We'll meet you back at the, and I look and see like this kind of large Gothic statue in the center of the quad. How about we meet right there? 45 minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so, have fun.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And like maybe even like a little bit more hot tap in my step. Going towards the
Go
building.
up to the. All right. Let us deal with that then. First, you climb up the very familiar stairwell that leads up to the area where Professor Elizondo, your professor, has his office. You are very happy to see that there is still light coming from his office and the door is ajar. You hear the distinct sound of jazz music playing from his little turntable that he keeps in there, and you hear him humming as he's probably in the middle of grading some papers.
Give like a little knock and poke head in. Excuse me.
Oh,
Good evening.
Francis. Oh, please come in. Is it a little late for you?
A little, but after that last email, I just wanted to make sure I can come in and talk face to face.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Please have a seat. I'm just finishing up these papers here, but I mean, folds away a few things. You know, we used to worry about ideas. Now we have to worry about syntax first, which is a little scary when you think of the fact that we're at university, but you know, such is life. I try not to be one of those dinosaurs that believes that strunk and white is the only way to go, but I do sometimes marvel at the decrepitude of our student body's writing skills, and this is one of the reasons I enjoy your work so much. You write like, well, you know how they sometimes say that people have an old soul. You write like someone who would have been born 50 or 60 years ago. It is quite remarkable.
You know, I just try to emulate those that I admire. And the times they are changing, so it's about keeping up.
Well, we can only do what we can to help people along. But tell me, what can I help you with?
So last we
Is the
spoke.
music bothering you? Would you like me to turn it off?
No, it's fine. Thank you. Last we spoke, I know it was a brief email. Things have been sort of busy, and I'm sorry that I haven't been to as many classes this semester. It doesn't matter.
Is everything all right? Are you okay? You know that we've known each other for a while now, and beyond being your professor, that I am also more than happy to help you in any way you need, or guide you to find the help that you need. If I know that being a student these days is very difficult, and there's a lot of stress factors and so on and so forth. So if there's anything that's becoming problematic, I'll certainly be willing to help.
Well, I have gained a sort of new circle of friends lately that aren't
That's
as
good.
supportive of all my goals. They can be a bit pushy at times. Maybe not always picking the path that I would pick, but it's nice to have friends.
It is. Friends you can count on, I hope.
I'm not so sure. But I'm really hoping this information, they're asking about it. They're asking about this Professor Hollings, and any information might actually, I don't know, maybe put them in good grace and maybe keep me just a little bit, I don't want to say safe. It's not that bad, I promise. It's just, you know.
Did you say Professor Timothy Hollings you are referring to?
Correct.
Been quite a long while since I've heard that name bandied about these halls. You know, I think it was in the late 50s, perhaps, the last time that Professor Hollings was seen around here. He disappeared, I think, around 1959. Of course, someone of his stature disappearing leaves a bit of a mark, and people still talk about it to this day. There were rumors he'd been involved in some unsavory experiments with kids at an orphanage that subsequently burnt down. The whole matter was never made very clear, and there was never really any sort of thorough investigation or a court case or anything like that. Always rumors, of course. Some rumors say that he's still in town, that he's changed his name, went into hiding, but he'd be at least in his 90s now, if not more. He may not even be alive anymore.
Interesting.
Yet you're looking for him. What prompted this search?
I was asked, and I might be being used for my resources. They just thought that because I attend here that perhaps I could find more information. Although that's more information than I was privy to.
Francis, I'm not blind. I'm not a silly man. I'm certainly aware that there's something special and different about you. Coming from another student, this request might make me wonder a lot more, but coming from you, I guess it's, well, I don't know if it's par for the course, but at least it's not as surprising as it might be otherwise.
I want to reach out, put like a hand on top of his hand. That means so much coming from you. Thank you.
Yes, he pats your hand and then gently removes his hand from under yours. Francis, I'm sure you're aware that throughout history there have been various philosophical currents, ways of discussing literature, art, things of that nature. One of the earliest ones was one called structuralism. In structuralism, the idea was that every narrative, whether in a piece of literature or in any form of art, really, any narrative could be broken down into component binaries that were immutable. These were, if you think of the Bible, for example, the very first line in the Bible, in the beginning there was darkness and then there was light. You have that binary of light and darkness there. That is arguably the oldest text ever written, regardless of its actual provenance. And right there is the first binary. Later on, there were a number of French thinkers, Foucault, Derrida, people of that sort, who came up with another mode of thinking, which they called deconstruction, which was more about taking stories and breaking them apart for their components and studying them this way. The problem with the binaries that they had was that binaries immediately imply a power structure. When you think of a binary, whether you think of light and dark, life and death, there's immediately a power structure that is implied, the first one being good or better and the second one being weaker or bad. Now, this is not much of a problem in the case of something like light and dark or good and evil, but it becomes problematic once we start thinking of white and black or a man and woman, or and so on and so forth. And so this implied power structure within the binaries rankled people, of course, as it should, and so there was a movement away from it. But the fact remains that in any relationship that one has, such a power structure is created, explicitly or implicitly. Your problem, Francis, is that you are a people pleaser. As a people pleaser, you automatically put yourself at all times in the weaker position. And once you put yourself in that weaker position, it is very difficult to get out of it. Once people assume a certain amount of control or power over somebody else, they're very loath to lose it. And so my advice to you, Francis, would be to stop doing that. If you wonder whether or not these friends of yours are really friends, or if they're using you for your connections or your knowledge, then they probably are, and they probably are not friends. And that is because you have accepted this position of lower power. You're the second part of the binary. You need to seek to become the first part of the binary. You have the capacity for this. You are brilliant. You are a lot more cunning than you let on.
Cunning has such a connotation to it. I'm not sure if I...
Well, a little connotation here and there is not such a bad thing.
Thank you for your wise words. I might have a confrontation soon. My current living situation is not so much based on this friendship. It could make things complicated. And the endeavor that this friendship falls out, I know it's a lot to ask, but you said earlier that if you could help, you would. Could I crash on your couch just for a day or two until I got my feet back up?
Oh.
Seeing as I'm trying to heed this advice of yours.
Well, of course. You can use my office. Not a problem. I would also give you something else to take with you. You are going to go back to these friends. They will be expecting you to bring back something, and like a good dog, they will be expecting you to bring it back and lay it at their feet. I will give you something to bring back, but do not lay it at their feet. Keep control of it. By keeping control of it, you will keep the power. And they need it, so they will not be so crude as to simply dismiss you. At the end of the day, the method through which we impart education to students now, which was created in ancient Greece, if you want to know how outmoded this is of one person who has the knowledge who transmits it to a bunch of people who don't, and you keep the power by transmitting just a little bit of it at a time. And that is why students keep coming back to class, because they know that if they want to pass the class, they need every little bit of information you are going to give them. You do that with this bit of information. The strangest rumor I've heard about Professor Hollings is that he somehow found his way to living beneath a place called Edgewater Hospital. Now, during the pandemic, Edgewater Hospital, which had been a derelict for many, many years, was destroyed, and they built condos. So who knows exactly what's going on there? People say that the entire place is haunted. Most of the condos are sitting empty still.
Well, that's awfully silly. There's no real evidence guaranteed for a haunting.
Well, stranger things go bump in the night than we might expect.
Do you believe in those things?
I'd rather believe and not be surprised than not believe in.
An attitude to have, certainly.
Weird things have been said to happen at that place. So, be careful, whatever you do.
Of course.
He reaches down to his desk, pulls out a key ring, pulls out a key, places the key, slides it over. This will unlock the door downstairs in my office here. I trust you to not go gallivanting around and to use only this place. There is some liquor in the cabinet over there if you need it. You can play any of the records that you want. It's my secondary collection. It's fine. Don't bring people here.
I wouldn't dream of it.
But I'll be away for the weekend. Please feel free to use the office as you need it. This couch doesn't look like much, but it is very comfortable.
Away? Where are you off to?
Oh, I'm away to the cabin for the weekend. I find that I have difficulty focusing on grading papers around here. There's always distractions. So when I have a pile like this, I like to go off to the cabin, just to me and my dog, and sit there, make a little fire, and play fetch, and sometimes with the papers, and grade them. I usually get through a number of them that way, much more readily than I do here.
Sounds quite wholesome. I'm gonna take the key, and again, just once more, put hand that lingers just a little too long in his hand, and pull back. Are you sure we can't have a drink, just real quick before I head out?
He sits back. Francis, I'm sure you understand that a man of my age, more than happy to receive the attentions of one so young and attractive and smart as you are. And I'm not completely immune to your flirtations. However, it would be very unseemly for me to allow anything to happen while you're still a student at this college.
All I heard there is that you're not completely immune, and that's enough to carry me through the night. Good evening, Professor.
Francis, remember what I said. You get to choose which position you have in the binary. And once you choose it, you're pretty much stuck in it.
Of course.
Have yourself a good evening.
You as well.
As Francis steps out of Professor Elizondo's office, we cut downstairs to Lydia and Archie and Birdsong. Birdsong is lying down, flat on his back, in the middle of the place, just looking up at the stars, whistling a tune.
Question. Birdsong didn't go with Carter?
Nope.
Okay. I looked down at him, and as I had watched Francis kind of skip off towards her meeting, I look at Archie and I go, that is a trap. She is a trap.
100%. I made a Mean Girls reference to her the other day, and she didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's true. It is always the quiet ones, and I don't know what she has playing, but it's something. It's a lot louder than she thinks. She showed me a text message from the Cardinal.
What did it
before
say?
we left. Well, you'll get a kick out of this. Apparently, the Cardinal wanted me to be the leader of this whole buffoonery.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not one to give up the spotlight in any sense, but this is definitely not one that I want to be standing in.
Dear friend, she is a manipulator and a snake in the grass, and you should not listen to anything that she says. But don't worry, I too can blend in when it's required.
I jump. I full on, whoa, hey.
Sir, are you lost? We're not from here. We don't have any money for you.
Is that a fact? No money. I have it on good authority that you have a particular club of ill repute. Perhaps over in the recesses of Gary's anus.
I walk up and I go, you still smell the same.
Is that what it is?
You love it, doll.
That is scary. I've seen a number of things, but that is the... Oh, wow. Is that what was in your little bag?
Birdsong lifts his head. Which one's he doing tonight? Oh, that one, yeah. Goes back down.
I would like to point out that you don't survive for almost a century on this planet in this condition and not learn a trick or two about blending in, especially in enemy territory.
Are you wearing a headband?
He even brushed his hair.
I did.
Like it's not...
That's his pickup shirt, by the way.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna regret saying this. If you kept doing this and maybe had just a touch and he touches your collar, you'd be cute.
You know, I would take that compliment in any other condition. However, I will state this much. This particular attire that you say is not quite good enough has gotten me close to many men to rip their throats out and bathe in their blood.
Can you say that a little less loud?
No,
I don't know.
I
You should
can't.
scream it. That's kind of hot. I'm sorry. Where am I? The fuck?
I
Ew.
whap
Ew.
Archie like, are you okay? Stop it.
I don't know. It's the accent, and he brushed his hair. It's for some reason.
I know, it's doing things to me too. Okay, so hi. Yes, you look, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Carter, you look nice.
I'll try not to be insulted.
God, I hate it. I hate it, but I love it. Oh, shit.
Now, sweet cheeks and doll of the evening, where is our little child that is running around? Did she go find who she needed to?
I believe so. Yes.
She's got 15 minutes.
As you're looking around, you notice that Vorena is off in a corner talking to another student who is sitting on a bench
Oh
over
God.
and sitting next to her.
I'm gonna walk over there and just sit down next to her and go, "Hey, hun, what are you doing?"
Oh, hi, Mom. This is Elliot.
Oh, nice to meet you, Elliot.
You're very nice.
Yeah, and we should probably leave her alone because she's probably studying.
She says she's waiting for her friend.
Oh, well, maybe she wants to wait by herself then. Come on.
And it says, hi. She extends a hand, or they extend a hand, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Elliot. Are you also friends with Francis?
Yes, I am friends with Francis, and I extend a clawed hand and I say, I'm Lauren. Nice to meet you.
No, pleasure's mine. Your friend, Verna here, was telling me that you came in with Francis.
Yes, we did. We were just checking out the campus. We go to University of Indiana, and we just figured we would come in for the weekend, like see what the campus is like.
What do you major in?
Political science.
No, that's nice. I thought about going in that also.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, I figured that I'd much rather live poor but happy doing art than selling my soul to the machinery, as it were. Oh, there's Francis. Francis, as you come out into the quadrant, you can't help but see Elliot chatting with Lydia, and most disturbingly of all, Verena.
A brief shock moment, and then quick rush over, taking hopefully Elliot around the arm.
Hi, Francis. They get up and they give you a big hug.
Hi, Elliot. Strategically trying to move them as far away from the other two as possible, with it being as casual as possible. It's not very casual at all. I didn't think I'd see you tonight.
No, I saw Claire, and she said she saw you get off the bus, so I figured I'd come. I assumed you went up to see Dr. Elizondo, so I figured I'd wait here and catch you on the way back. Do you and your friends want to go? We're going to go to Farragut's.
Thank you so much for the offer. We are busy tonight, but you know how much I regret not.
Francis, how could you not introduce your family, who has come all the way from Boise, Idaho, to visit you at your school?
Is this your dad?
Oh my God.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Carter J. Fitzgerald. And he extends a hand.
What's Francis's family name?
Bancroft.
Mr. Fitzgerald. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Elliot.
It's not blood family. It's you know how steps go.
Yeah. Are you okay, Francis?
It's just a lot that I didn't anticipate tonight. You know how sometimes I just kind of need a lot of preface to.
Yeah.
What we
I'm
do.
sorry if I intruded, do you want to just walk over to the street? And it was a pleasure meeting you all. I hope to see you all again.
Yeah, anytime you
Mr.
want to come over.
Mrs.
and hang out.
Fitzgerald.
I'm not
hope
Mrs. Yeah, definitely not. This is not my dad. I am a friend of Francis's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope to see you again very soon, Elliot. Very soon.
Vorena says,
Archie is
I like
cackling
this.
behind this. Just
yeah, it was very nice meeting you all.
You don't have to talk to them. It's fine. Oh, let's go over here.
They grab your arm and kind of walk off. Are you okay? Are you being held hostage?
No, not hostage. We have a thing that we're doing tonight. You wouldn't really understand, and that's okay because we don't have to share friend groups all the time or anything. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I just thought you. Well, look, just text me if you're free later or something. We'll be at Farragut's for a while.
Hopefully, I can make it.
Hopefully you can. And she leans over and they kiss you. Sorry, I keep misgendering them. They kiss you on the cheek.
And then promptly give just like a little too quick of a cheek peck back, and then yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Text you later.
I am going to. Yep. Yeah, this is
Okay,
great. And then, like an awkward hug after that, and turning around quickly, grabbing my bag, and just scurrying back.
And they kind of back up and turn around and walk off with a little skip in their step.
Oh.
Kurt's muted, and it's a great thing, I think.
We don't need to talk about any of that. That just happened.
Carter
we need
wants
to talk about all of this.
Carter wants to lean over specifically to Archie and say, "Remember how I told you about chinks in the armor? You found one."
So who's your friend, Francis?
Yes, darling.
you
Who
speak-
is your
yes.
friend?
Anytime you speak to me, it better be in that accent.
Looking first to Lydia, and then over to Carter. I like you the other way better.
Well, my dear, we're blending in, aren't we? You'd know all about that.
Some of us are better at it than others. Yes, it's a friend. It's they're fine. They're great. They're met them in class.
Huh? Yeah.
Just a friend.
Yep.
They're a
Just a-
Capri Sun on call. I get it.
Hmm.
We all have one, don't we?
Oh, hold on. Just let's reel it back in. Francis has a friend. It's cute. We'll keep it going. He kind of like gets her arm a little bit and kind of walks in a direction. and with her, she's like, "So how long have you known each other? What's the story?"
I'm a very private person, Archie. This was unexpected.
I'm not asking what escapades you have in the bedroom. How do you know this person?
We go to the same school.
And
We've had a few classes together, and we get coffee and we study, and that's that.
And how late in the night do you all study?
Pretty late, Archie, considering things.
And what is it? Anatomy, biology, human sciences?
Just putting sunglasses on like shade.
Not all of us are so eager to rush to such relations. I thought you would understand that, Archie.
That's fine. If you ever feel more inclined to talk more about your studies, I'm very interested to hear about it, Francis. We've learned something about you, and that makes this so much better.
It makes it something.
Right. If you're all done singing Kumbaya and being the most fucked up family I've ever seen this side of the fucking Mansons, can we please decide where we're going next? Because I want to get you guys there and I want to get the fuck out of Dodge before the Camarilla finds us.
Not a bad idea, as much as we've had some fun. I scruff Verena and just like pick her up by the neck and be like, you need to stay closer to us, please.
When you scruff her, you realize she's looking at Archie and she's got an eyebrow arched.
What?
And then you scruff her and she's still looking at Archie. Like her neck kind of goes into a weird kind of angle.
What is it?
Nothing. Some people seem to have found a little spunk since we last talked to them.
Trust me, it's always been. I give Archie a little wink.
Uh-huh. Just needed the proper hand to bring it out, did he?
That would be this one.
Oh, you would only be so lucky, sweet cheeks.
I didn't know Carter was right-handed. So sorry.
So, where are we going? You coming with me? You got someplace else you gotta be?
No, we ought to stick to the plan, I think. We'll go with you. You said you could get us down to the manufacturing district?
Yeah, we get to the CMD. I'll get you into the hidey hole. Once you get in there,
What do you think?
you know,
Archie?
you're on your own, but I'll get you there.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure we need to get this party moving.
Fine.
All right. Let's go.
Oh, hey, Silver.
Hey.
Have you heard of a place called the Green Mill?
Yeah, why?
North Side, old jazz club. It used to be a speakeasy, like, way back in the day, one of Al Capone's places.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if it's still up and running?
Yes, but it has moved.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, just, curious. It's been a while since I've been here. It's one of my favorites for a while.
I'll... Takes out... Goes to his pocket, pulls out a gum wrapper. If you got a pen, I'll write down the address for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Here you go.
Appreciate it.
Oh. Thank you, Mr. Belvedere.
He's a variable nerd. It's ridiculous.
He hands it to you. As he hands it to you, you are looking over his shoulder, Lydia, and you see a car, a BMW, has pulled up. And you see that Elliot is getting in it.
And wealthy.
Just before the door closes, you catch a glimpse of the driver.
What do they look like?
They look like someone you knew a long, long time ago.
What did they look like?
Dark skin, long, wavy, dark hair, beautiful features, pale gray eyes.
Lydia takes off at a run after this car.
And
Hey,
as you,
what?
the second you start running, the door closes behind Elliot and the car pulls out into traffic.
Lydia, yes, wears the good bloody bottom shoes, but she is not afraid to run in those after having run in those for a very long time in her life, and continues to chase after the car.
You will...
Archie follows.
What do you guys do? Yeah, so you see Lydia take off like a bat out of hell.
I think
Archie takes off too, like, unfortunately, wearing the Stacey Adams.
Looking at Carter.
Carter just looks at Francis and just is like, and you thought I was going to be the problem.
Clearly, I was wrong. feel like we should follow.
Oh no. They're like a dog chasing cars. Once they get there, they won't know what to do with it. It'll be fine. They'll come back.
You run and reach the road just in time to see the car turn around the corner and disappear. You are pretty certain that running after it is fruitless. But you do know that
Good.
Francis' friend got in that car.
I stop narrowly avoiding getting hit by a car, and I whip around and presumably see Archie catching up to me.
Yes.
Did Francis run too?
Oh.
No.
What the hell are you doing? You're running around in those shoes and in my shoes.
Archie.
Fuck.
Archie.
What? What?
I saw him.
Saw who, sweetheart?
I saw. I'm trying to catch my breath, and I just brace my arms on the back of his neck, and I put my forehead to his, and I say, I saw my sire. I swear to God, the car that kid Elliot just got into, my sire was driving it.
Expression just drops on Archie and he goes, oh. Okay. How are you okay? How are you?
No. Where the fuck is Francis? And I start storming off back to Francis.
And as you do, this is a great point for us to take a short break. As you go storming back towards Francis and the leader of the St. Pascal congregation of choir boys. As we return, we will return mere moments after we left with Lydia having told Archie that she thinks she saw her sire, or that she saw her sire in the car, and then turning to return to the group, and then Archie reaching out to Lydia, I believe.
Yeah. I assume that Lydia's storming off in the direction where Francis is to ask questions. Archie kind of like smooth trot. Okay, okay. Let's reel it in for a second, Mama Bear. Let's. I'm not saying let's think about it, but let's think about it. Okay.
That little bitch knows something. She fucking knows something, and I am about to fucking find out, or I'm gonna put her head on a goddamn platter. And I start just beelining it to Francis.
Could you hold on a goddamn minute? Hold on. Bring it back. Reel it in. Of course she knows something. It's been that same way the entire time. I mean, she has an air.
But now she knows something really fucking important, Archie.
Yeah, but wouldn't she? What would you do to someone if you knew something very important about them? Would you just allow it to surface, or would you hold it as leverage? The scales have tipped. Now we know. Now we have an idea that she has some type of knowledge about you personally, and she wants to leverage that against you. I'm speculating, but if it were me, that would be my plan.
Archie, I thought he was dead. Final death, dead, gone.
I know, sweetheart, and I can't imagine, one, how shocking, frustrating, and angry you can be. And that's valid. And there will be a time to use it. And he kind of like embraces her and brings her in. This is a win for you.
I press my chest, or my head into his chest a little bit. And just kind of relax.
It's okay. It's always the quiet ones, but they're not as vicious. I know somebody scarier. So here, and he kind of sets her up. Come on. Kind of dries her eyes a little bit. Pulls out a compact. Go ahead and fix your face. It is time for us to put on a show.
Done.
Lead the way.
I walk back to the group.
Meanwhile, back at the group, Silver's standing behind Carter. He's like, "You guys are fucked up. You guys are fucked up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Speak up."
This is what I get for saying I have a loud keyboard. Pots and kettles, my dear boy. Pots and kettles.
Admittedly, you found me naked, crucified upside down.
This
so,
is true.
It's
Yes.
very fair. Very fair. Very fair. As you return, Silver's like, "Are we chasing cars? What are we doing?"
No, we're going to the location. Hey, Francis, how long have you known your friend, Elliot? Just out of curiosity, how long have you been friends? Because you know, being immortal and all that, I don't imagine you've been a student this entire time here, but maybe you have because you're weird like that. How long have you known Elliot?
Not as long as you'd think.
How many years?
Wouldn't even go that far. They're also a student. They're not hanging around campus their entire lives.
So they age, they've had a birthday, they have a heartbeat.
As far as I can tell.
Okay.
Don't you have enough toys, though? Can you leave mine alone?
Sorry, I just, I can't help it when I just see such a pretty little piece of meat. Apologies. Silver, can you take us to the warehouse, wherever we're going?
I don't know. Can I? Are y'all done?
Oh, I apologize. We're on campus where it's an educated group. May you take us to where we need to go? Isn't that how it's properly said?
Oh my god. All right. I think I like the other Carter better. You know, I think this is his old shtick. Right now he's going to make us regret the other Carter's gone. I'm just saying. How are we doing this? Do we catch a bus? Let's steal a car. Want to walk?
Car.
How far is it from where we are right now?
Well, if we walk, it's probably going to take like 45 minutes.
No, we'll
I mean, we
take
could
the car.
grab an Uber, or looks at everyone too.
Yeah, let's
We'll
do
get
that.
an Uber
Wait.
Black, and I pull out my phone and get an XL ordered to campus. And I look at Verena and I go, "Please, for mommy, can you make yourself look as normal as possible? I promise I will give you a delicious treat for this."
This is normal for her.
Right. I mean, normal by human standards.
Big
I
ass.
can, but I want my treat now.
You want your treat now.
Oh dear.
Can I ask for something specific?
What is it?
Can you open your mouth real wide?
No, you have to tell me what you want first.
I want to look inside.
Is this gonna kill me?
No.
Is this gonna modify me?
No.
You just want to see what my insides look like?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, well, that means that anytime I tell you to look a little bit more human, you do it.
Lydia, dear girl, I know you haven't played Let Verena Play Doctor before, but when she says look inside you, she literally means look inside you.
No, I know. I figured she's going to turn herself into a weird little tadpole and slither down my throat and see what's going on inside there.
If you're lucky, she may just detach her eyeball and retina and drop it down your throat and then reel that sucker back in like a fishing hook.
Do we really have time for this?
I just want her to look as normal as possible. You know what? Fuck it. And I'm assuming, does Francis have like a backpack? Okay.
Yeah.
I just immediately just go over and unzip it and try and find like a hoodie.
Sure, yeah, it's a campus college like
And I like just walk over to Bruno and I like full on like mom like pulling the sweater over the kid who's like refusing to leave the house, and I go, hood up at all times.
Do I get my treat?
No, you do not get your treat because you're still acting like a fucking weirdo. You can have a treat later, not now. Put your arms through the fucking sleeves. Get in the car.
Archie, I have a very, very pointed question for you, old boy. Have you ever seen a Zemitzi have a temper tantrum? It's quite entertaining.
I don't know if I have the wherewithal right now to experience that.
That's the point.
You watch as she slides her arms into the sleeves of the hoodie, and then you feel her hands on your hips as she's sliding her hands,
Fucking Christ.
her arms through the sleeves of the hoodie. You better give me my treat.
Fucking hell. And I open my mouth.
And you see like the other arms kind of go through her and come out, and you see like her arms were split in half and they're like kind of melding back together. And she reaches up and she grabs your jaw and she just comes really close and looks inside your mouth and goes, "Oh yeah." And then she just leans back. "Thank you."
Now will you be normal, please?
And of course, and as you look at her, she starts to fill out a little bit, and she gains like about a foot of height, and she fills out into this hoodie. Is this to your liking?
Yes, sweetheart. You look lovely.
Don't lie. She turns away and walks off.
I go, okay, everybody in the car.
So,
Do you want the hoodie back, Francis?
No. Verena can keep it.
Lydia, or perhaps Archie, just a simple note. In your sprinting in Red Bottoms, did you by chance perhaps, think to grab a license plate number to save yourself some time? Or did you not think that far ahead? I'll take that as a no. Shall we?
I look at Archie like, I'm fucking killing him.
I know. Trust me.
You eventually get a cab. Uber pulls up and you all pile into it. And you are guided to the Central Manufacturing District, which is a largely abandoned industrial park that was very big during the textile manufacturing eras mostly. There's also some other manufacturers, there's some refineries, there's just all sorts of stuff. Most of it is abandoned, derelict now. Most of these places look kind of odd and scary and strange in the night. Still a lot of lights, but no one walking around. The other side of the street, there's some houses and habitations with a few cars parked out there, but it's definitely like a bad neighborhood. Street lights are broken everywhere. There's, abandoned furniture, things of that nature along the road. You eventually pull up to, and Silver, as you pull up like a little bit further from where you're going, you pile out of the vehicle and you walk the rest of the way. By this point, I would say it's about 11, going on 11:30, maybe at night. You eventually arrive in front of what looks like it used to be some sort of industrial site or another. There is this giant construction, these machinery there. There's still some lights hanging over them. They look like these kind of strange dead monoliths with just a little bit of light and shadows kind of playing everywhere, and they're kind of looming over you. There's frost chain link fence all around it. There's some warnings, stay out, etc., but when you take a good look at it, you don't see anything like guards or anything like that. And as you approach, Silver says, yeah, there's not going to be anyone around here. At least there wasn't back in the day. I don't suspect that they would have, sprung for, Paul Blart, Mall Cop to come and hang out here. So I'm going to show you the entrance to the underground. once you're in there, follow the underground. Stick to the main pathway that I'm going to show you. You're eventually going to reach a large underground cistern. There's probably going to be a lot of dead bodies in there. I mean, by this point, I'm thinking maybe just skeletons, but there might be fresh bodies. You never know. And that's the area where Ophelia used to lair. So if you're going to find her anywhere, it's going to be there. And if she's not there, maybe you'll find some clues. But this is, as much as I know, this is where I found her. This is where she was staying when we were using her. At this point, I don't know what's going on. It's been a couple of years, but what's a couple of years to someone like her, right? Can everyone hop the fence? And he scrambles up, runs over the fence.
Silva, just a quick word, if you don't mind. What are the chances of us running into any rats in this particular area? I hear Chicago's infested with them, passing word along from side to side.
Yeah, I mean, you know, rats, Nosferatu, all that stuff. When I was here, this place was no longer connected to anywhere else. So there's no other access. I'm lying. There's one other access. There's another access to this place from a place that used to be called Edgewater Hospital, but I think they destroyed that place and built condos. So you might not even be able to access this place from there anymore. But there used to be just two ways to access it, which was through the hospital. But there were some crazy Malkavians and some weird dudes hanging around that place that were preventing people from getting there. And the way that I know how to get in there. This is not on any maps. It's not on anything. This is from back in the day when they jacked up the city, when they mud-jacked the city a long time ago. No one knows about this place. I found it kind of by accident back in the day when I was working for Bahari. I don't know what it's become. This is the best I can do for you, is to take you there. One thing I will say is that that place seemed to have been where your guys hung out when they were first here, because there were black hands painted everywhere around that cistern. Weirdly enough, too, there were like red hands painted around it. So I don't know, like, you know, is that like a new thing? Like there's a black hand, a red hand. Is that like, you know, the next level up or something like that? No? Well, you know, maybe it's still there. Another mystery to solve. Roll up in your mystery machine and you and the Scooby Gang can figure it out.
You're not liked very well, are you, Mr. Silver?
I don't need to be liked, man. I'm a Ravnos. No one's gonna like me anyways. You know, make my own way through life. But look,
I look at Archie like, rich coming from him.
look, you know, you did me a solid back there. I'm gonna do you a solid now. You want to go and change into something else, or are you good?
Why would I need to change, dear boy?
All right, well, climb the fucking fence or break the door or do something, but come on in, folks. Like, the water's fine. Ain't gonna get any better.
Like, in like a single vault, almost, like Carter is up and over the fence and on the other side.
Jeez, man, you're breaking the masquerade.
The what now?
The masquerade is like a camera. Oh, never mind.
Following suit, just kind of climbing up the fence.
Everyone makes it up and over, no problem. He leads you in through this area, behind sort of the main machinery that you saw earlier in this industrial complex. You get to an area that are like old containers, old machinery, trucks, loaders, things of that nature. Everything's kind of rusted off, falling apart. A couple of delivery trucks, some pallets, wood pallets. There's just tons of junk. You can clearly see where there are people who I thought about that, Miko. I totally thought about that, but she has made a promise to be normal, and she wants her mommy to be happy. So
only normal when humans are around. You can be whatever you want when they're not around, honey.
oh, you tell her that now.
I
And
said normal. You're terrible.
there's so you can see where there are like barrels with fire in them, and there's like plastic chairs and things of that nature. So it's clear that there are probably vagrants and whatnot that kind of use this place. You don't notice anyone right now. It's pretty quiet, except for as you are approaching the sort of main area where the containers are, where the fires are and the chairs and all that. There's an old transistor radio that's sitting there, and it's playing an old country song. I don't know if any of you are country fans and whatnot, but there's like an old Johnny Cash song or something playing on that radio.
There's a man going round taking names.
You slither in through this area. There are a few lights here and there, like I said, and the fire and the thing, and the containers. At some point, Silver will point to a stack of containers, one on top of the other. And he's like, this is a bit weird because you don't want to go in through the bottom one, but the second one leftmost in the second row, you go in that one, and then there's a hole in that one that's going to get you down into the first one. And from that first one, you're going to see that there's like 3 other containers behind it that you can walk through. You might have to open the doors, but you walk through those 3, and it's going to take you to an entrance to an underground area. That's where you want to go. You want to follow that, and you're going to see electrical cable that's been run through there. I don't think there's any electricity. There might still be. There was back in the day. Follow that as far as you can go, and Bob's your uncle.
My uncle's Michael.
Well, that's great. We square?
As a circle.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
All right, and he disappears, and you hear his voice from one of the containers behind you. He's like, yeah, good luck, guys. And as he says that, you see, arcing through the air, a number of Molotov cocktails come spinning through the air at you, and are about to land where you are. So, my friends, let us do some initiative. You can turn to the Albert Rodeo, which I will set up here in a second. Wrong one. So for your initiative, you okay, Kato? We can't hear you right now.
I just fragged out. I don't know what happened.
You okay? You good?
No, I'm good. My thing was glitching, and I was like, this has to be everyone else. No, it was me.
All right, so you can place yourself kind of wherever you want. You're about there. Sorry. For your initiative, you will roll. You add your dexterity plus your wits together, and then you add a d10 to that.
I got a 10.
15?
11.
Give me a second. I'll.
Oops, sorry.
No, it's okay. Just because I have two. All right, Carter, you got
10.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. It's 2d10.
no.
Sorry.
It's your wits plus your dexterity, and then you roll a d10.
Copy.
Francis,
15.
Archie,
11.
Lydia.
11.
Okay. Oh, Bertong's going hardcore. 15. Right now it's going at 12. So, as you are serving that area, you've been led here. You came in basically through here. You came in here, and once you got there, you're seeing these Molotov cocktails sort of come lunging towards you. They don't seem to be aimed at you, but when they land, they sort of encircle you, like, so it's not like a full-on line of fire around you, but enough of them have sort of landed around to sort of semi-encircle you in here. Thank you so much, Scottish Jeff, for the bits. Everyone's got a next turn, a night move. Here, let me actually put a circular one.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
It's okay. All right, so they've sort of landed around you. There are places to move between the little spots of fire, but you kind of see that you're sort of surrounded. Francis, you're going to go first, actually, at 15. What would you like to do?
Man, that's such a great question. I'm not the person who should have gone first.
You can hold. You can.
I think that's also well within character. The very shock, surprise look to Lydia, look to Carter. Idle animation.
I'm sorry. You also got, Francis, an additional night move from your friend Silver.
I sure did.
The next one, yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Silver.
you so much, Silver. Thank you, Scottish Jeff. All right, sorry. You were saying?
Oh, yeah. If I can hold and looking to see what our two fearless leaders type folks are going to do. This is a lot that I did not anticipate.
Absolutely, no problem. At 14, Birdsong and some of the other people are going to go. You're going to see on the rooftops over here a number of figures that come out. And coming down this way, you see a familiar and scary figure in a red ski jacket, a black hood, and a white yellow tape binding his entire face, holding a giant railway spike hammer in one hand, just trailing it behind him as he slowly, methodically lumbers in. And you recognize the ginormous figure of Baptiste the Nosferatu Scourge, who is clocking in at close to 8 feet tall. Some of you will remember him and maybe be happy you wore your brown pants. Birdsong is going to say, "Holy fuck," and he's going to look to Carter and go, "What do we do?" And he's going to hold action also. Vorena at 12, you will see her slip on here. You will see literally the hoodie fall off of her, and she will slip out over here into the darkness. Archie, you're at 11.
All right. Seeing that nobody is moving, Archie's just gonna yell out, "Dude, we have to get out of here!" And he's gonna start taking off. Actually,
So just for so we understand the whole thing. Where he told you to go. What's his name? Where Silver told you to go in through would have been through this door here. You came in through here, and he indicated that you had to go through here to go to where you wanted to go. Just as a heads up of whatever you want to do.
I think Archie's gonna want to get on top of this container right here to kind of separate himself from any line of fire, actual lines of fire.
So as long as you stay like kind of within the area here, I'm not gonna make you do Ross check roll, but if you try to cross the flames or get really close to them, you're gonna have to make Ross check roll to see if you panic because of the flames.
Got it. Yeah, no, you see him Archie's like, we have to get out of here, and he scales the top of that container. He's like, we need to move. Like, he's just, for some reason, Archie went into like survival mode and was like, we have to get away. And that's it for me right now.
So you're gonna slip there. Do you activate any discipline? Do you do anything else?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Lydia at 11.
Okay. I am going to burn a blood point and activate Arms of the Abyss. Right the fuck on and around Baptiste. Because I don't like the look of him.
All right. How big is that?
That's a good question. Sorry.
All right. Each success will enable the creation of a tentacle. So go ahead and give me your manipulation plus occult roll. You're looking for 7s or higher.
Okay.
Remember that 1s cancel out your successes.
Manipulation plus occult. That's gonna be.
Yeah. You can spend a night move to ignore 1s or buy an automatic success, and you can spend willpower to buy an automatic success.
Okay. I am going to spending one night move would cancel out 1/1, or would it cancel
All the ones. All the
Haha,
ones
I'm gonna
in a row.
spend a night move
All right.
and cancel those 1s. And I've got 3 successes.
3 successes. 3 tentacles coming up. Around Baptiste, all of them?
Yeah, I would like, let's see, I would like to, yeah, somewhere in there.
Not a problem.
Somewhere like, and whoever fucking fuck is next to him.
So these tentacles are flesh colored, but we will imagine that they are black.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, I don't want.
As these tentacles of darkness emerge from the shadows around these fools. It's a giant tentacle. So 3 of them emerge out of the darkness to wrap around them. And would you like to do anything else? Would you like to move?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up on the other shipping crate just to the west of Archie.
Yeah, right. So you're gonna head out over here. Archie, you received a night move from Raven Sarah. Please note that down. Carter at 10. Birdsong is looking at you, waiting on you, so he's gonna move also. I think Francis is still holding.
All right. Let's see. Where is he? How far are you constituting that we can move?
For my money, you can move basically anywhere that's within the visual area of the map. So this would constitute a zone.
Okay.
If you wanted to move inside the buildings, that would be a different zone, so it would take you like a secondary movement. But anywhere like in this zone, you feel free to move.
Okay. Then Carter is going to run and bolt through the flames.
Right, give me a Ross check roll.
Alrighty. Actually, I'm going to burn a night move and automatically succeed.
Okay, excellent. Not a problem. And you bolt out and you head through there. All right, I'm going to say you can reach the doors if you want.
These guys are on the roof, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then he's going to get under them.
Not a problem. Seeing you do this, Birdsong is going to do the same thing. He's going to vault over this. He's going to run with you. He doesn't have night moves, but I'll say that he burns a willpower. As he's like, God damn it, I fucking hate this. And he runs through it, protecting himself. Ah! And runs over to where you are. Francis, you were holding action. What would you like to do?
I was. Seeing how the group is somewhat splitting off at this point, I think I'm also going to use a night move to push through the fire and join Birdsong and Carter.
All right, excellent. Blow up your night move. As you jump over this and run over there. Sorry, I was moving.
Oh, it's okay.
No, go ahead and move yourself.
No, you, please. After
No,
you.
please move yourself. I shouldn't have touched you without asking for your permission. You move over there, no problem. Same thing. The flames lick at you, and you know it's the mortal enemy, right? Fire, but you kind of grab your courage with both hands and run out there. You know there are a couple vampires on top of the building where you are. Back up to the top, Francis, it would be you.
Sure. Okay, so I just go ahead and give Carter a nod and peace on into the building.
Not a problem. Give me a strength roll to open the door.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I saw the map. I had it open, so. Strength.
Strength plus, you can make your strength plus.
So let's see. I rolled a 9 and a 10.
Oh, that's
dice.
great. No problem. You pull it open. They're not super jammed or anything. You just unlock them and kind of pull it and then slip through without too much of an issue. You find yourself in what is a container that has been blocked into like a cement door, but you can clearly see going through it that there's a hole that goes into like the next one and you can move on. So you can start climbing and getting into that area if you want. Birdsong will actually move over here, but he will hold his action again and wait for Carter. Vorena has disappeared. Archie.
So seeing everybody kind of taking off, Archie's gonna look back at Lydia and go, "Are you? We're going. You coming? Yes." Like, yeah, fine.
Yes.
Beautiful. And then he's also gonna vault over, similarly how everyone else did. And I like taking a running start on that container.
All right. So first of all, are you gonna do a Ross trick roll, or are you going to spend a night move or a willpower to get through the fire?
I'll spend a night move. I got a couple in the tank. I'm gonna spend a night
No problem. Then I'm going to ask you to go ahead and make me a dexterity plus athletics roll.
All right. Two successes.
2 successes. Did you roll any ones?
No, I didn't roll any.
All right, no problem. So you run on the container, you jump, you land over here, you kind of roll on the ground. I'm going to say because your action was the jumping, you can't get all the way there, but you will kind of land there in the pallets and kind of, start picking yourself up, and you're really close to the flames and they kind of lick at you, and, your shirt cinches a little bit. Over here, you can see that Batiste is basically like grabbing these tentacles and like kind of ripping them apart with his hands, but they're kind of battering him. The three tentacles are kind of battering him and keeping him at bay. these guys are going to open up now. Sorry, because they should have gone at 13. So I'm going to let Lydia do her action, then I'll come back and do these guys, as I forgot their action at 13. So go ahead, Lydia, since you were going at 11 also with Archie.
I will also burn a night move to get through the flames.
Excellent. And you will, how are you getting there? Are you running on top of the container, or are you just running around?
I think, I'm going to run around.
All right. So since you're running around and not jumping, you can get all the way to here.
Okay.
With them. Now, these guys are going to open up. They've got assault rifles, so they're going to take shots at you. Cool. First batch of shots coming on. That's a D20. First batch of shots coming in over at Carter. Defend, Carter. Roll your stamina and your dodge. Sorry, your dex and your dodge.
Difficulty?
I will give you a difficulty in 1 second. Sorry, I'm dumb, and I did not have the weapons damage written on my sheet. Just 1 second. Where the hell are the weapons listed in this book? I'm very sorry. I hate it.
What are they shooting?
They're shooting hunting rifles.
7.
All right. So 7, and they're using what appear to be specialized rounds. So your target is 7.
Okay. I got 2 critical successes and 2 successes on a difficulty of 7.
All right, so that's pretty good. You still get hit by the bullet. It does aggravated damage. As the bullet explodes when it hits you, you take 1 aggravated damage as the bullet busts into your chest and you see like a little burst of fire that erupts from it. The other shot's going to go at Birdsong because he was already there. And the third shot is probably going to be at Lydia as she is departing. So Lydia, go ahead, roll your dodge and your dexterity. Targets are 7.
Sorry, 2 success, 1 of them crit.
What was that? How many successes?
2, 1 was a crit.
All right. Same thing as with you take a shot right in the back of the shoulder, and you also take an aggravated damage as the fire rips through your skin and just kind of burns you. But you kind of stumble forward and manage to get up to there. Carter at 10.
First things first, I just had to double check something real quick. How much damage did the hunting rifles do?
It did 1 damage to you.
I'll use a blood point and activate my fortitude to soak that damage so he doesn't have any damage.
Excellent.
And then I'll take that real quick. Boop, boop. Can I see Archie? Yes, I can see Archie.
Yeah, he's just like a, I don't know, maybe
is he prone or what?
No, he made his roll, so I kind of said he kind of hit the ground, but he kind of stood up again, like, because he made his roll. He was successful in his roll, so He just kind of hit the ground and he rolled, and now he's kind of getting back up and about to run towards you.
I will run over to Archie. Ooh, trying to click on the stream because I'm that smart instead of the map. I will run over to Archie and kind of basically use a help action to pick him up so that he is ready to go, putting myself between him and Baptiste.
Do you have any potence, by the way?
Do I have any potence? I do not have potence, but I have the basic spend a blood point to increase your strength by 1.
Totally.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. So you grab him and you kind of interpose yourself between him and you get him ready to move and head in there. We're back at the top. Francis, you are inside. You continue to go in, or what do you do?
Well, goodness. I definitely don't want to go too far without anyone else, frankly. Thinking that everyone was behind. Stutter. Was I already going down the hole, did we say, or were we saying
you're in the building, and like I said, that you're starting to kind of climb to go into, you have to go into the second floor one.
Gotcha.
So you have to go through the roof and then kind of, so you started like kind of reaching for that basically.
Okay. Then yeah, honestly, okay. We'll keep pushing.
So I will say you are, for all intents and purposes, out of combat as you manage to climb up and sort of climb your way out. So we'll say that for now you are out of combat. If ever you want to return and do something, you let me know.
Okay.
After that, it is Birdsong at 14, who is going to hold his action and keep the door open. He's got a revolver out. He's taking shots over up there, but you know, it's only having a certain amount of effect, but he's putting some shots down over on the guy up here, kind of keeping his head down. Archie and Lydia, you can go interchangeably. You have the same speed, so.
Your lead.
The Archie kind of just looking at Carter, and he kind of gives him an appreciative nod. He's gonna take off towards the door where Birdsong is, kind of like as he's running past Carter, pulling his arm to let him know, like, all right, we're moving, or I'm moving.
Are you going inside the container?
Yeah. So I wanted you let me know if I can. So from where he was standing to where Birdsong is, I want to use potence, or one of my potence for soaring leap, to kind of just like baseball slide, just from where he is, just right into that door.
Not a problem. You can make it all the way in here, and you just see Francis kind of disappear in the hole in the roof, so you can start climbing towards there if you want. Lydia?
Yeah, just take it off.
Well, I got shot and I'm not happy about it. I am going to follow Archie into the space.
Not a problem. They will go. One of the things disappears. This guy is going to jump down. This guy is going to jump down and come at you. So you can see as they come towards you, you can see that they've got animalistic features. They got ears that are kind of getting long. They got fangs out. They got claws out. They're gangrel as they're coming at you. So he is going to make a brawl attack against you. You can defend yourself if you so wish.
Mm-hmm.
Target would be 6.
6. I have 2 criticals and 1 regular success.
2 criticals and 1 regular success. I do believe that that's 2 criticals, 1 regular success. I have 1 critical and 3 regular success. So I believe you will win this particular one. As he comes in at you with the claw and sort of takes a swipe at you, and you just manage to sort of get out of the way, Birdsong is likely is similarly kind of entangled with a guy fighting off this other guy that's there. All of them snarling, claws out. We will be at Carter's action now.
Carter is going to. He's not willing to fuck with these guys. He just says, "Quit playing with them and get the fuck out of here." And he literally like does kind of like a rope-a-dope and then jolts past him to get inside the here.
Okay. Not a problem. You manage to squeeze in to that little space. It's getting kind of crowded in there. As you go through the doors, Carter, you catch a glimpse out of the corner of your eye. Over here.
Over where? Oh.
Over on the roof with this guy, you see a figure you recognize. As you look up, you see the figure of Lee, your missing child. And as you look over your shoulder and spot him, he's standing up there like this.
I just do the whole like...
And you run in here. Family dysfunction. As you run in there, Birdsong is gonna look at you and go, "Fuck this shit, man. You fucking do what you gotta do, all right? You get this shit done." And he's going to slam the door shut behind you.
Carter, without missing a beat, bars the door.
The lot of you are in this container. You climb through the second floor. You hear outside more gunshots. Some of the bullets hit the side of the container. You hear scream growls. You hear the thunk of Batiste's hammer against the door. The door buckles and starts to sort of bend inwards. You hear screams of pain, screams of rage outside. You climb through the hole and you continue running down that series of 3 other containers and eventually get to that other hole that leads down. Francis, you get there first. You kind of clamber down it. You realize that there is a way to move things to kind of block the hole if you want a little bit to buy you some time. You can hear the metal of the door behind you screech as it is being ripped open. But you run through there, get down into the hole, and eventually find yourselves in a bunch of tunnels below as the sound of the fight upstairs starts to fade away behind you.
Good. You made it.
No thanks to you.
Didn't think we were going to stay there to fight.
I think at this point, Carter literally grabs Francis by the collar and lifts her up and straight up, "You don't ever leave a fucking pack member behind. Ever."
Falls limp. Probably just letting you have your moment. Doesn't say a word.
He literally just drops her and then looks at Archie. "You burnt, you hurt."
I'm fine.
Lydia,
And she's looking at Francis too, just like,
you got the same amount of holes you came in here with?
No, I got one more. I'm a bit burned too. Shit.
Birdsong, they're pretty crafty, right?
Yeah, no, he's dead as shit.
Right.
Fuck. I was starting to like that guy.
Yeah. This is obviously a setup, right? We are all in the same mind that River set us up, right?
Well, I know this much. Somebody knew we were coming. I don't know if it was Silver or not, but somebody knew we were coming, and his eyes just drift over to Francis. Somebody who might be coming in and out of this city on the regular.
I'm inclined to agree.
Believe what you want. I knew nothing of this.
Where did you go when you left us at the school?
I went to see my professor.
How do we know that?
You don't.
Oh, trust me. If Lydia wants to, she can make you tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Lydia,
Francis.
I saw my professor.
And I walk over very slowly to her, and I put my very sharp clawed hands on her chin, and I dig in just a little bit and say, if I find out you're lying, I'm killing you myself.
I consider
And
it
I'm
an honor.
taking you piece by piece, and I'm giving all those little bits of you to Verena so she can do whatever she fucking wants. And I release her face.
And I'm gonna eat Elliot.
She's not lying, says Verena, stepping out of the shadows.
Jesus Christ!
You really have to prepare people for that. Good lord.
Damn it. Wear a bell!
Glad you made it out, sweetheart.
Of course. As your kid, Lee. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was him. Someone had warned him.
Hmm.
But I don't think it was Francis.
What makes you say that?
The time it took us to get here from the school, if that's where Francis would have given them a message, they would not have had time to come here and be this prepared for us.
Batiste don't travel alone. He always keeps a hunting party.
Yeah, but
We've been
Verena's
pretty
got a
unsure.
point.
We've been pretty unsure about Lee for a while. He's supposed to be out here working for us, but it's been a while since we heard anything from him. I'm starting to think that maybe Lee's not as much of a friend as he used to be. Not that he and Daddy here ever got along.
Head turn.
Oh yeah, he's a shitbrick. He ain't anywhere near a chip off the old block.
Noted.
You just said he's a shit brick. He's not a chip off the old block?
No, I'm a fine upstanding citizen. Trust me. Compared to me, he's an asshole.
I attempt to laugh and I just grip my bullet hole.
Well, I don't think that staying here is the option. They're gonna get through that door pretty quickly, and they're gonna be down here at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. She ain't gonna move too quickly. Hey, Verena, you mind getting rid of that hole? Leave the rest.
A patch job would be appreciated, Verena. You can look in my mouth again if you want.
Oh, I've seen everything I wanted to see in there, but I'll look into something else.
At least let me get into a private room if you're gonna ask for that. Fuck, that usually costs extra.
Don't fret, Mama. I
Oh,
can wait.
God.
She comes up behind you. It's gonna cost you 3 blood points, but she's going to just, her fingers are gonna sink into your flesh and start rearranging the muscles underneath it and rearrange the bones and redo the flesh, and she's gonna and it's literally like someone's just sinking their fingers into your skin and kind of moving things around for a little while, and it's gonna cost you 3 blood points instead of 5, which is a pretty good deal. But she's gonna pretty much sort that out. She's gonna pull her hand out.
Oh, fuck.
It felt so good in there.
Oh, God. had gynecological exams more pleasant than that. Ah.
That's a fun game.
Fuck. Well, thanks, Rudo.
You find yourselves in a long tunnel, long abandoned. There's water on the ground or old train tracks that go through it. A lot of detritus, wood, things of that nature. It's quite dark. The image that you see on the screen right now is a little bit of a lie because there's not light. There's no light, but it's to give you an idea of sort of what you're looking at. It's this long, scary, ugly tunnel. Do any of you have any sort of light or the
No.
ability to see in the dark?
I do. I have eyes of the beast.
I am a shadow monster. I don't know if that counts for anything.
And I have a cell phone.
Well, that will help.
Concur.
Yeah.
You will start walking down this tunnel. It goes on pretty steadfastly for a while. There's no branching or turning and so on and so forth. And when you do eventually arrive at parts of it that have like a branching off tunnel or something like that, they're always much smaller. You remember what Silver said, which was to follow the main tunnel. So you kind of trust in that, I guess, and keep going. There's really not much else that you can do. As you are going on, please go around and give me a you can give me survival rolls, everyone. You can give me your wits and survival, I guess, or perception and survival would be fine too. You're looking for 6s.
If you happen to not have any points in survival.
Then you roll just the stat.
Okay, thank you.
You said 6?
Yeah.
2 successes.
3 successes.
2.
I got 1 crit, 1 success, and 1 failure.
Okay, so aside from Lydia, everyone kind of keeps their head together and their bearings, and you manage to navigate through even with the sort of low light. Lydia, you have a bit more difficulty. You probably trip a few times, kind of have to catch, the side of a wall or something. As you move through the tunnel, eventually you arrive in an area that's a little bit different. You're leaving this kind of weird underground tunnel area, and you arrive in a place that's got graffiti on the walls, and it looks like kind of more of like an access tunnel, like a regular sort of access tunnel, perhaps some form of abandoned underground tunnel from a long time ago. When you come in here, there's light. It is flickering, but there's a little bit of light through it, but you're still looking at a very kind of long series of tunnels that you have no clue where they lead, and you keep walking for quite a good amount of time. You eventually start smelling very clearly the scent of blood, of rotting meat, things of that nature. I would like everyone to give me a perception roll. So you can give me your perception plus alertness, I believe it is. Yeah, perception plus alertness.
Difficulty?
Your difficulty is 6.
No. I'm gonna burn
1
him.
critical.
2 critical.
I'm gonna burn a night move. But I got what difficulty was 6?
Yeah, you're looking for 6, yeah.
3 success.
Okay.
I got 3 criticals.
Damn.
That's pretty awesome.
Perceptive.
As you're walking through this tunnel, there's, as I said, there's a number of graffiti and images painted on the walls, things like that. eventually one of you will catch it and the others will notice it also. Along one of the walls, you start seeing what appears to be a black hand painted on the wall. Over it, every time you see such an image, such a black hand, you see a red hand done in blood stamped over it.
Great.
Does anybody know what that means?
Well, this, and he points to the black hand, them's the boogeymen of the Sabbat. When you need something killed, they're what you send. That's what I am. This, he points to the red hand, no fucking idea.
I look to Francis, recalling our time with the Hecata.
Trying to do the mental, like, facial expression, talking without talking, and should we tell him?
You're making a face. You know something?
I know many things.
We saw something, the two of us, when we were back at the blood bank. This thing called out to us, and we went down the stairs when Carter was having his smoke out, and we saw some people down there, and they told us, mainly spoke in riddles, but now I understand a little bit better what they were talking about. But there were a bunch of black candles and a bunch of red candles, and some of the red candles were out. I can't remember really, but there were 4 of each color, black and red.
This doesn't happen to be relevant to our jog, would it?
I don't know. I just know that one of the black candles was out, this one that had a snake on it. The rest of the candles were lit. They all had different things on them.
What did they have on them?
There were 2 that
things?
had snakes, and there were 2 that had animal paws, and there were 2 that had this hand with this kind of open weeping eye, and there were 2 that had this moon on them. There were the same symbols done twice on this different color candles. So there was a red set and a black set, and the black candle with the snake on it was the only one that was blown out.
Can I make an occult roll on that?
I was going to
Anyone
ask
can
something
go ahead
similar.
and make an occult roll on that. I think I do believe that you made an occult roll already, Lydia, about that the first time, and I'd given you some information. So
Yeah, I just don't remember.
that's okay. The information
It's the
you'd
old
gotten,
one.
Lydia, out of it was that the symbol of the hand with the weeping eye was a very old black magic symbol.
What's the difficulty on the occult roll?
I'm going to say go for 6s, but tell me what you get also that's higher, because there's going to be like different tiers of information.
I got 2 7s.
Anybody else rolling?
I'm assuming you don't want me to roll again.
Yeah, you've already rolled, but like I said, that information you could provide, the idea that the weeping hand, the hand with the weeping eye in it is a symbol of black magic.
I readily provide said information.
I think I did too, but I think I botched my roll originally, so.
Hope this good luck travels over to Wednesday nights. I got 2 6s and a 9.
Okay. So the first thing that's gonna kind of come to mind, of course, is that these symbols could be a million different things. Carter, you remember seeing 4 black candles. If you'll remember, Kurt, when we did the little intro video with the Cardinal, you had seen 4 black candles. He was talking about 4 lights, 4 black candles, and when they went out, when all 4 went out, that's when the long night would begin. And that was when he sent you to do the Shovelhead party. And he had told you to leave 4 of them. Now, when you sit there and think about it, the 4 that you left was a Gangrel, a Malkavian, a Sedite, and a Nosferatu. Some of these tie in pretty easily to the symbols. The Gangrel with the wolf paw, the Sedite with the snake, the Malkavian with the moon. The one that doesn't tie in is the Nosferatu. So you don't know what to make of that. You will also, I think, remember the wall that you saw at Samael's place, which showed a moon with a snake around it, a wolf with a snake inside of it, and other similar kind of images. So there's definitely like some kind of weird connection going on there. At this point, it's hard, unless you yourself as a player make a connection. I think you had 3 successes, Ian. So some of the things that you would see that connect, of course, is the fact that your Childer is one of, theoretically, if you're looking at the candles and the symbols, your Childer would be one of the Gangrel paw one, and you might be one of those 2, but then would be a red candle. But this doesn't really account for the Sedite, because you don't know of another Sedite. There's, as far as you know, no one who is black magic user in the group, and there's no Malkavian in your group right now that you know of. So that's where that kind of connotation stops. Beyond that, there's nothing about the red hand that comes up, even with your decent roll. You've never heard of anything very specific or, of an organization or group that specifically uses that. There certainly have been, a bloody hand. It's kind of a regular kind of symbol, but there's nothing specific that jumps out at you. The only thing that you do realize is that they're all over the Black Hand. So if the Black Hand pack that was sent here 5 years ago is the one who made these marks of the Black Hand, then this was done after.
Well, you don't have to be an expert in the occult to realize when one gang marks their territories, the other one comes through to usurp that. Anyone from the hood knows that.
Let's be on the lookout then.
Seems like the boogeyman has its own. Should we keep moving?
I also, just to make sure that people remember, a couple of you I wrote to about red hands also. Specifically Ian and Kato, I wrote to you both about something about a red hand today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't. Whatever you do, don't read the GM's notes.
No.
Kato, I will find it and...
I'm looking through all the things.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy it here. Send it to you here. And Ian, it's in our DM.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was joking when I said that.
Oh, did you find it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just letting you know so that up to you.
I just, as we're kind of walking, fall back in step with Archie and reach down and grab his hand just to see if I can catch him out of the corner of my eye.
You see him as we're kind of like potentially walking away. He looks at the hands again, and you can clearly see that his gaze is focused on the red one.
I go, come on, let's go.
Yeah, sorry. Lost in my thoughts. Yeah, here we go.
You keep moving forward. As you move forward, you become aware through your sense of smell, other senses. You become aware of living beings somewhere in the tunnel ahead of you. You hear kind of a low rumbling chant, like a guttural that's reverberating through the tunnels. You smell blood and flesh. You smell various other bodily fluids and emanations. You feel the heat of fires that is coming down the tunnel. What would you like to do?
Eyes up, everyone.
Are we gonna get jumped again? Oh, jeez.
You keep moving forward. You eventually, at the end of the corridor, find a door, kind of like a round, almost kind of like a vault door, but smaller. It is open, and you can definitely get the smell of like charnel on the other side of it. There's a lot of rotting meat and blood and things of that nature on the other side of this door. The wall is round towards you, so whatever is there, whatever that room is some kind of round structure.
I don't like this at all.
I think it's about liking. It's about getting it done.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to take a gander, ain't we?
I guess so. You want to lead the way, Muscles?
I'm not the leader of this expedition.
Yeah, but you're stronger than I am.
I'm actually very curious to see what it is. I'll leave you two to your flirting, and Archie's gonna go forward.
You open the door, and that smell that you are smelling hits you full in the face. There is a very, very large cistern that you're walking into. You can see that the floor is squishy with months of dead bodies being dropped down in here. There are bones, there is putrefied flesh, there is rotting meat everywhere, blood, entrails, all that good stuff just squishing under your feet as you walk into this room. The walls you can see are covered in this gore, and you can see all around the room at several places black hands with red hands over them. As you walk further into this, you realize there's a little bit of a very tiny kind of walkway that you can walk on. There's a central pillar, and as you walk in, both Ian and Kato, please give me a roll on your. Let's see which you have. Give me your instinct, and Kato, give me your conviction. Roll number next equal to that. You're looking for 6s.
Two successes.
Same.
Archie and Lydia, as you approach this room, step into it, The other two, you see the two of them fall to their knees, their head locked back. Lydia and Archie, as you walk into the room, you are pulled to your knees. You feel deep, deep below you. You feel an enormously ancient, wrong presence. Something that exists here, that is buried here somewhere, that reaches out to you, reaches into your very soul, pulls on the strings there. You feel both a recognition, a questioning, a welcoming even. You see in your mind an image of a creature, perhaps somewhat feminine in its physicality, but unknowable. Its face is covered in these weird, strange sort of scales. There is hair that is coming down its face. It is wearing and a very old kind of sarong kind of thing. There are necklaces made of bone around its neck. And as you look into it, the dark recesses, the empty pit of its eyes, look into you and recognize you and welcome you. And the only thing you think of as you see this vision in front of you is that whatever this thing is, it is known as the Unnamed One. It is ancient, evil, wicked. As you gaze into its eyes, you see the city of Constantinople as it was 1,000 years ago. You see below the streets of the city, you see a well, a pit. You see two people climb out of this pit covered in blood. And you see a third one come out behind them. And you know this is this thing that lies here somewhere beneath your feet. And it is calling to you. And it is welcoming you. Francis and Carter, as you walk in, you see your two friends, your two compadres, fall to their knees, their heads locked back, their eyes rolled into the back of their head, this rictus of ecstasy on their face, their bodies shaking as if they're in the midst of sexual climax. And all around the top of the pit, you see looking down at you a group of men and women, all of them covered in some sort of white powder or some sort of, it looks like white powder or something, or maybe it's the skin that has kind of dried out. There are a number of them. They are naked. They are looking down at you into this pit. And among them, another woman appears. She's wearing a long dark robe. Her skin is completely white. Her eyes are completely black. And she looks down on you. And she smiles. And she says, "Welcome to hell." And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, on that note,
hell of a drug.
we will end tonight's session of Severed, a Sabbat Chronicle.